Hi guys, and welcome to my channel Moxie DIY in Java. I'm Michelle. Today's video is going to be Christmas in July. So grab your cup of coffee or your favorite beverage and join me. This terrarium is from the Dollar Tree and by far is one of my favorite things that they sell because it looks like it's worth way more than $1. And these peg dolls are from Hobby Lobby. It's from their woodpile collection. We'll be using various sizes to represent Mary, Joseph, and baby Jesus. And this bead is going to be our riser for some greenery. And speaking of the greenery, this is the frosted fern. I believe that's what it's called, also from the Dollar Tree. I chose to use this conical shape, but you can use whatever type of greenery you would like. Okay, first things first, we're going to glue down our Joseph peg doll. I am placing him as far to the front left as I can. And the reason we're gluing him down first is so that way I know that I have enough space for Mary in the front and the tree in the back. You'll see here in just a second. We're going to hold off on gluing down baby Jesus for now, so that way we can put the snow in the base. We're going to mix equal parts of Plaid's Mod Podge and Epsom salt. And you're going to mix it to about a Play-Doh type consistency or wet sand. Basically, you want it to hold its shape if you squeeze it together. Now I'm just throwing it in there pretty much and then mashing it down to the bottom of the terrarium. Now, when Mod Podge and Epsom salt dry, it becomes very sturdy. You almost have to chip it off if you want it to come off, which is great for this because it means that that snow is going nowhere once it is dry. Now that I like how it looks, we're going to let it dry for a few hours. To add baby Jesus, I'm just going to put some glue on his head and his body and then glue him to his parents. If you would like to connect with me in other ways, I am also on Instagram, Rumble, and Pinterest, and you can find me at Moxie DIY Java. I always love talking to you guys, so be sure to say hi. And here it is, all ready to hang in a tree or sit on your tiered tray. Before I get too far into the crafts, I wanted to let you know that this is a Crafted by Corie Minis challenge. And basically what that means is that we make at least 3 things that are mini that can fit either in a tiered tray or a small space. And this month's theme is Christmas in July. So I hope that you like what you're seeing and definitely go check out everyone else in the playlist because I know you will find a ton of inspiration. This is one of a few paper star templates from homemadegiftsmadeeasy.com. I will put the link to this in my description box. I'm not going to follow her instructions per se. I'm just going to be using her template. And now we're going to cut out the rest. Okay, I've cut out all of them, and now I'm going to fold them along the solid black lines. Now this is where I'm going to slightly deviate from her instructions. I'm not making a 5-point star at this point. I'm just making a star shape, or maybe like a snowflake shape. I wanted it to be pretty substantial, so that way it would be a luminary. You're seeing me fold in these top tabs. I end up cutting them off later because I wanted to go a different direction, but definitely keep the side tabs. It helps you connect them together. Here I'm showing you various sized hole punches. I ended up going with just the humble thumbtack. I punched holes in every other plane, so I just varied where I put those so that way there was solid and perforated paper. In places where the paper overlapped, I just went through my holes one more time with the thumbtack. This is where I chose to cut off the top tabs. I chose this jar to be the base for our luminary, and the reason I chose this one is because it has a flat side, and here is a tea light I'm going to use inside. Obviously use an electronic one, not a real one. So we're going to place it upside down and then attach our star snowflake to the front. Now the jar I was originally looking for were the mason jar ornaments that the Dollar Tree sells. I could not find them. I knew I had them in my stash, and of course I found them after the fact, but that's what I was originally looking for this project, because the lid does open just like you're seeing here on this one, so that way you can add and remove the light, but it already had a hanger on it. So if you're able to find those, use those instead, but this did work, as you will see. Off camera, I did add some glittered nail polish along the edges and some of the folds of the luminary. My coffee of the day is Cafe Bustelo, which is delicious, and the creamer I'm using is coconut cream. It's one of my favorites. Tell me your favorite coffee or tea flavor. I'd love to know. I am also using one of my favorite mugs called an Ugg Chug, and I will be sure to link that in the description box as well. I think she's hilarious. If you'd ever like to support my channel, please consider buying me a coffee. Everything that you need to know is in my description box or in the About tab. These alpha blocks I found from the Dollar Tree, and I pre-painted them with an ivory color. I haven't seen these lately, but you can also find them at Hobby Lobby or Walmart. These are about an inch tall. So I stacked 3 and glued them, and then I decided that I wanted to have 6 instead of 3. And I'll be using this scrapbook stack, and I love it. It is so pretty. During Christmas time, our home kind of transforms into almost like a log cabin, so this is right up my alley. felt like this pattern was made exactly for what I wanted to do because I already had separate patterns that coordinated together and fit the blocks, so win. So what I'm going to do is use 2 sheets because there's only 5 designs, and so we're going to be duplicating one of them, and we're going to cut them out into 1-inch strips. Before I glue them down, I want to get them sized and scored. Now, I like to have the seam on the corner of the block. It's just personal preference. You can definitely have that seam wherever, but I do want to make sure that all of my seams are towards what I am considering the back of the blocks. So if I have a seam on this one, on this corner, then I want the seam to be close to that back corner of the previous block. I hope that makes sense. So here I'm just making sure that the seams basically line up on all 6 blocks. Now we can leave these as is, but I wanted to put a word on here. I am using these craft stickers from Target a few years ago, and these rub-on transfers are from the Dollar Tree. These rub-on transfers are another one of my favorites from the Dollar Tree. Have you tried them yet? Now I'll add some ribbons and some greenery. I'm just clipping off little pieces of this same frosted fern that I used in the terrarium, and I'm only using 3 ribbons. I show 4 here, but I only end up using 3. I'm just attaching this greenery in a wide upside down V. This can absolutely be hung as an ornament. All you would need to do is add a loop of your favorite ribbon and you have a hanger. Alright, to start, we're going to use a clear pony bead and only 1 acrylic gem that you can find at the Dollar Tree. This will become the knob at the top of our cloche. So we're going to glue the pointed end of the gem into the pony bead. We're going to use a cleaned out candle jar. This was one from Bath & Body Works. You can also use a vase or any other clear jar. For filming purposes, I'm using hot glue, though I recommend using something like Gorilla Glue or Super Glue instead. This wood round is from the Dollar Tree. I chose not to paint it because I really like the natural color, but you can absolutely paint that if that goes with your aesthetic. This little tree came from Hobby Lobby, and I am going to snip off the end that makes it into a ornament, and we are using Plaid's brushed metals in silver for the star. And now we're going to use Mod Podge and faux snow to create the look of freshly fallen snow. I am just lightly kissing the branches with the Mod Podge and then sprinkling the snow onto it, so it looks as though the branches are just gently touched by the snow. These word stickers are from Target from last year, and this is just a collection of various size jingle bells. And now, revisiting the very same frosted fern pick, we are going to pull off all of the conical shaped pieces, and we're going to form them into a wreath around the base of the tree. I am gluing the ends where they were attached to the pick underneath the tip of the greenery before it, so that way that base is hidden. And now I'm just tacking down the tips of the greenery to its neighbor. I just love how all of these turned out, and I truly hope that you will give some of them a try. And if you have enjoyed what you've seen, please consider subscribing, liking, or commenting on anything below. And I always like talking to you guys, so be sure to say hi if you're new. Until I see you in the next video, take care.